Today is June 11, 2017. This is the wrap-up for the day in sports. Thanks, vlog. It's all over. The Pittsburgh Penguins have won a second straight Stanley Cup, defeating the Nashville Predators 2-0 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. It was a terrific game. Both teams had great goaltending tonight. Pekka Rinne was good, but in third period, with less than 2 minutes left, the Penguins got the game winner, a flukish goal by Patrick Hornqvist. You know, it was you're preparing yourself for overtime. I mean, I really thought we were going to see a sudden death there. I guess at that point it does become sudden death when it's 0-0 at that point. And then, of course, the Penguins added the empty netter by Carl Hagelin. Predators had their chances. The referees took one chance away from them with the early whistle. I just don't understand why the Penguins are so protected by the officials. It's almost like Gary Bettman sits alone in his room, and like I have all these posters and pictures and pennants here. At Gary Bettman's house, he has all those posters and pictures of Sidney Crosby, and he sits there and he goes, sings that song, "Hopelessly devoted to you, hopelessly devoted to you." I mean, this is a guy who could get away with murder on the ice. He could take off his skates, and he could club someone with it, kill him, stab him with his skate, and they'll call the guy that died on the ice. They'll give him 5 minutes for tripping. I mean, that's just how unreal it is with Sidney Crosby in this league. The way he's protected, he cuts off someone's finger, and it's like, okay, that's just an accident. No suspension, nothing. And now he's won 2 straight Conn Smites, neither of which he deserved. I mean, last year, Phil Kessel carried the Penguins, not Sidney Crosby. Matt Murray last year wasn't even a rookie. He played like only a couple of games at the end of the season as a call-up. He was basically a minor leaguer. This was his rookie year. He was a pre-rookie. I mean, it's like Ken Dryden all over again. And Ken Dryden won the Conn Smythe all those years ago in Montreal, 1971. But the last year they gave it to Sidney Crosby because he's Sidney Crosby. Because he's Sidney Crosby. The NHL is not supposed to be like this. They're not supposed to be like the garbage NBA, giving everything to the superstar. But no, it's Sidney Crosby gets whatever he wants. It's ridiculous. And now he got the Conn Smythe again. Evgeny Malkin deserved it more than him. Jake Guentzel got all the big goals for the Penguins. He deserved it more than Sidney Crosby. It's like 2 straight years there were 2 players on the Penguins that deserved it more than Sidney Crosby, and each time it's Gary Bettman. You can see Gary Bettman fighting the urge to just kiss Sidney Crosby because that's his absolute favorite player of all time. You could tell the love and devotion, and the referees had the same love and devotion. Oh, gag me. And this is why I hate the Washington Capitals now. Because you could have stopped this 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row, you were the better team, but you choked. You choked. And choke on the Penguins, skating around with Lord Stanley once again. And that's why Alex Ovechkin, as I like to call him, is the biggest choker in the history of hockey, and might even be the biggest choker in the history of sports. I hate the Penguins. Just someone knock them off next year. And Sidney Crosby with the worst playoff beard in the history of the NHL. Just don't grow it. You know, not everyone grew playoff beards. Messier never grew a playoff beard. Gretzky never grew a playoff beard. Mario never grew a playoff beard because they all will look ridiculous. You looked ridiculous, Sidney. Ridiculous. Moving on. Big game for U.S. men's national team in soccer. They went down to Stadium Azteca, earned a 1-1 draw with Team Mexico. So they're right back on track to qualify for the World Cup next year. You see, this was a great tie for Team USA. But this is also why soccer. I just don't get soccer. I mean, to me, you play to win the game. Like Herm Edwards would say, you play to win the game. But in soccer, you play for ties. A good tie. A good tie. It sounds like the Father's Day is next week. This game should have been on Father's Day. It's a good tie. I like my tie. Don't you like my tie? I have a closet full of ties that I have to wear to work every day. I mean, a tie. That's why I just don't get soccer. I know a soccer aficionado will tell me it's the greatest thing that a tie. It was a great tie. A tie's like a win. I just can never embrace that, and that's why a lot of Americans can't embrace it. I'm a traditional American sports fan at heart. I just can't embrace ties. In other sports international, Rafael Nadal continued his feats on clay, winning his 10th French Open. I mean, he's truly the clay master. It's hard to believe the French Open was played over the last 2 weeks and almost no coverage. I didn't cover it. This is the only time I'm talking about it. It just shows you how far in the sports panorama of the United States, the sports vision, that tennis has slipped. And it's amazing that 20 years ago, tennis was neck and neck with golf. It was big. 30 years ago, tennis was huge. It just really disappeared. And it had a lot to do with the lack of a true American star. And there's no Serena Williams this time around. She's on maternity leave. And it just really goes to show you. It's quite unfortunate what's happened to tennis in the United States. Baseball today, Aaron Judge murdered a baseball. 4 for 4, 2 home runs as the Yankees continue to just bludgeon the Orioles. Just took a 3-game series and just each game just pounded their pitching. Pounded their pitching. I mean, the Orioles should be embarrassed with the effort that they put up in the Bronx. And the Mets, another day, another good result. They actually won on a Sunday, which is a miracle. 2-1. Great start by Seth Lugo. Some positive signs the last 2 days. The next 10 days, though, that's going to be the true test for the Mets. They play the Cubs, who themselves are struggling. The Nationals, who just got swept by the Texas Rangers. And the Dodgers. They begin a California road trip. So this is the test. Mets got to have a good showing in that 10 games. They're still 5 games below 500, and to me, I can't believe the Mets are going to make any noise until they're 500 at least. What would I consider positive for the next 10 games? I say if the Mets somehow go 6-4 in this 10-game stretch, that could be a positive sign. But like I said, I just still have my doubts. I mean, Yoenis Cespedes, he didn't start today. If he's not able to play every day, why did they activate him? This gives me a lot of concern that he's going to get out there and he's going to quickly get injured again, and this time it will be for the rest of the season. And that's just so typical of the Mets. Just so typical. So typical of how just short-sighted and dumb they are at times. I don't understand it. I don't understand how this team just operates and thinks. It's just very bewildering and confusing at times. Well, that's all for today. Good day.